Okay, so today we're going to talk about the ultimate way to collect Sunbeam. We're going to talk about the different methods, the different missions, the fastest ways to do it. We're going to break it down step by step. All right, guys. So if you love what we're doing here, please consider using our supporter creator code. It goes a long, long way to helping us be able to do this and keep doing our YouTube and our Twitch. So thank you so much, guys. Okay, so now first thing to understand about Sunbeam farming is the level choice. The level choice is very, very important. The best mission that you could possibly do is a build the radar. Build the radar is fantastic because by doing a build the radar mission, you're going to get the maximum amount of radars on a mission that you can possibly get. Now, this is really important because radars are one of the best sources of getting Sunbeam. Radars, if you go and you run up to a radar and you look at the top of the radar, you look at the dish, you will actually see clear as day the reward that you're going to get by actually completing that dish. That's very important because you know right away whether or not you're going to get Sunbeam out of that dish. You can tell because you're going to see it's a crystal tower. You can define a crystal tower by the reward symbol. It looks like a crystal or a piece of quartz, a white quartz crystal. And that's what we call a crystal tower. Now, when you complete a crystal tower in a power level 100 zone, you will have a chance to get 2 rewards. Well, actually 3 rewards. You can get Shadow Shard, Sunbeam, or Quartz. Now, if you're lucky, you'll get Sunbeam. If you're unlucky, you'll get Quartz. And if you're regular lucky, you'll get Shadow Shard. You want to make sure that if you find a crystal tower, that you tell your team immediately, hey guys, there's a crystal tower over here. Everybody come over. As long as everybody builds at least a few pieces on the tower. It should be 1, but I usually go and build at least 3 because sometimes it bugs out. So you want to build at least 3 pieces on that tower so that everybody contributes. And then when you activate the tower after you complete the build, the present will appear at the bottom of the tower. You collect the package and reap the rewards. The other thing about the build the radar is that you have a lot of time to complete the mission. Build the radar, you can actually finish every single one of the radars with an efficient team in about 20% of the actual length of the mission, to the point where you're going to be standing around a lot doing nothing. You're going to have you can complete every single objective on the entire map and still have time to spare. So this is nice because you can go and hit all the towers, complete the towers, then you can run around and complete all of the encampments. The encampments are the same thing. When you look at an encampment, you can tell exactly what the reward is on the encampment. When you see a quartz crystal, you'll know it's a crystal encampment, and you go and wipe it out. And again, same thing. Same thing as a tower. When you beat it, you beat that encampment, it will drop a present. You pick the present up, and anybody that contributed to that encampment kill will get possible Sunbeam or Shadow Shard and maybe Quartz. You can find multiple encampments across the map, and since you're on a build the radar grid, you have the time to find all the encampments, hunt them down, take them out, try to collect those rewards. And the entire time you're doing this as well, there are other things that can happen. The other thing that can happen when you are chasing after Sunbeam is drones. Drones are random events that can happen on a map. When you get a drone event, you will hear Ray announce it. It will appear as a yellow exclamation mark on your map. You run over to that location as fast as you can. You need to bring your team because this is a very challenging encounter. It sends a lot of enemies at you. The worst being usually smashers and lobbers simultaneously, with a few huskies and other things thrown in the mix just to basically ruin your day. The smashers will try to charge through, the lobbers will bomb you into oblivion, and then the other things will squeak through the cracks and destroy your objective. So you need to have some teammates. It's very hard to solo. You want to run to that drone as fast as you possibly can. Get to that drone, build a wall around the drone as quick as you can, as quick as possible. Do not build a roof on it because the drone is going to come from the sky. It'll smash into the ground. It'll damage all of your walls. What you want to do is put up 4 walls and then 4 ramps, inverted ramps, around that objective. The inverted ramps will keep the smashers from charging into your walls, which you want to make sure they don't charge. If they charge, they're going to break through everything, and then the other enemies are going to do a bunch of damage to your objective. So keep those inverted ramps in front of the walls. It'll give you a nice little barrier. You want to make sure you upgrade those walls to tier 3 as fast as you can. You can actually get them to tier 3 before the drone drops. And as soon as the drone drops, it's going to do a bunch of damage to all of your walls. But as soon as the drone drops, you have to activate it immediately. Then immediately repair your walls and then jump out of the base and aggressively attack the spawn locations of wherever the husks are coming from. You want to make sure that you're really aggressive offensively, because if you do that, you'll be able to wipe out the lobbers before they ever really jeopardize your base. And if you have multiple people, you can have one guy hang back while the rest of your team spawn camps ferociously, and it is a really, really easy encounter if you're coordinated. Now, the more damage that your drone takes, the less rewards you get out of it. If you can do it without the drone taking any damage at all, you keep a roof built over top of the drone once it falls. You keep those walls up. You keep the damage away from the drone. It will progressively drop wood, stone, and metal all over the ground, just tons and tons and tons. The better you do, the more you get. But as long as the drone survives the encounter, you have to defend it for about a minute. Then you win and you get a present, and the present is just like a storm chest. You get high-level weapons. You get high-level weapon materials such as Sunbeam. And so you get the Sunbeam. If you get Sunbeam weapons, you can recycle them into Sunbeam. So that there is a top-tier way of getting Sunbeam. You can get a lot. Like the drones is probably the most valuable, most lucrative of all ways to get Sunbeam. The downside is that it is a random event, and you can't really control when they show up. But when they do show up, you don't want to waste any time. You immediately jump on that with your team. As long as you have a coordinated team, you're going to do it no problem, and you guys are all going to cash in on some really, really easy Sunbeam. Now, the last way is the storm chest. Now, the storm chests are wonderful. On a Build the Radar grid, you have lots of time to explore the entire map. You go all the way around the outside, spiral all the way towards the middle. Make sure you check out every single little scrap of map that you can do. Typically, you find 1 storm chest per map. However, it is possible to get extremely lucky and get 2, maybe even 3 storm chests on a single map. Now, if that happens, man, you count your lucky stars, because it is rare now after the hero rework. I mean, before, I remember I used to get 3s, and I've even seen 4 storm chests. But since the hero rework, I have a feeling they retuned all of that stuff. So now it's mostly just 1, sometimes 2. Super mega rare 3. But the storm chests are the ultimate way of getting getting Sunbeam on the regular. The Sunbeam comes from the present, and also comes from the weapons that come out of the presents. So what you do is you go over to the storm chest, you bring your team, you activate the storm chest when everybody is within, is visible on the minimap. They have to be visible on the minimap to take part in the storm chest and get the full rewards. You make sure everybody participates and shoots and fights, and you'll have no problem. Typically, when you activate a storm chest, everybody throws up their turrets, and the turrets just annihilate everything, and it's a really, really easy win. Now, as long as you guys were all within the area of the minimap when you activated the storm chest, you guys will get 2 presents. So you get a pile of rewards. Really awesome. You get Sunbeam out of that. You get all kinds of weapons. You can recycle the Sunbeam weapons into more Sunbeam, and you can get, like I said, between 1 and 3 storm chests per map, and each map gives you 2, or each storm chest gives you 2 presents. So these tools are just unbelievably valuable for collecting Sunbeam. Okay, so the next way to farm for Sunbeam is doing the Skeet Shooting. Skeet Shooting is absolutely fantastic for getting a ton of Sunbeam and Shadow Shard, all the weapon materials. There, you'll find them on every single map now. They put them everywhere, and they're really, really effective, honestly. It's something you don't really want to do solo unless you are extraordinarily, snappy aim. I struggle a little bit, trying to shoot more than 2 skeets at a time. And if you don't hit the vast majority of your targets, then you're not going to get enough hits. You need to get 10 skeets to get the first present, and then you need another 10, so you need to get a total of 20 to get both presents. And if you have a partner, you can do this really, really easily. So I recommend doing this with at least 2 people. More is better, and make sure that one of you calls out what side you want to do. I usually call out, hey, I'm going to focus mostly on the left side, and then they'll focus mostly on the right side, and then you'll easily get enough of the skeets to pull off the encounter. Now, it's very, very simple. You just walk up to it. Make sure you call your team to come over and help you before you start it. There's a couple things that you have to note. Make sure you clear the area of enemies. So make sure there's no enemies anywhere around you. And then be aware that once you start the Skeet Shooter, you're going to get some annoying patrols jumping in there, and it really helps to have your hover drone. The hover drone, whenever you see red dots appear on the minimap, I usually take a few steps back, try to throw up the hover drone. Don't throw the hover drone right where you're standing, because the hover drone will impede your line of sight, your visual view to target the skeets. It will actually get in the way, and it will cause you to lose because you won't be able to see your targets. So make sure that you kind of, when you see the enemies start to spawn, kind of run off to the side a little bit, throw up your hover drone or both your hovers, and then go back and keep on shooting. Hopefully the hovers will have enough presence to deal with all of that. Occasionally I have to shoot one, when they get too close, but I really try to keep my focus on the Skeet Shooting encounter itself, because you really want to make sure you do not miss your shots. So shoot 20 skeets. The best weapon in the game, for me personally, my absolute favorite, is the ground pounder from the military set. This gun fires insanely fast. It's a semi-auto. It's got a nice spread. It's got okay range. Another one that I also like is actually the long range enforcer. The long arm enforcer is the reason I like that one is just because of the range. The range is so good on this gun. It's got 3600 range, and it has spread, right? The only downside is that it shoots a lot slower, so it's hard to hit more than 1 or 2 targets, and if you miss your shot, then you're totally hooped. Whereas with the ground pounder, you can just like crack shots off, just bang, 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 and it'll slam everything. So I tend to like the ground pounder a little bit better. This is the one I usually go for, although I have used the enforcer on many occasions because you have that longer range. So if you're taking your time a little bit more, you're letting it shoot so that you can hit your trajectory. The long arm enforcer can hit those longer shots without messing up. With the ground pounder, if you don't hit it very quickly, you might have to shoot 2 or 3 times, because the fall off of your gun, you lose a lot of damage as it gets further away. So sometimes you have to spam fire it to cause the skeet to break. So that's the way I usually do it, and it's extraordinary, like super effective, and it is such a fantastic way to get more Sunbeam, Shadow Shard, and weapon materials. Okay, so now there is one last way that you can get Sunbeam, but this one is, I don't recommend. This is more like a bonus. So bonus Sunbeam. Free tips for you. Anywhere that there is caves, there is the potential that you will find Sunbeam crystals. They are a red crystal, so they're very obvious when you see them. You'll find them on cave walls. They can be deep underground. You can find them all over the place. Anywhere that there is a hole, a tunnel, anywhere that there is a cave formation, there is the potential to find Sunbeam. Now, I don't really recommend you looking for these formations, looking for these places, because they're very random. You don't know if there's going to be Sunbeam inside of them. And even if you do find a Sunbeam, most often it's going to be one node, which is going to give you 1 Sunbeam. So the time it takes for you to look for those is not really worth your time in terms of if you want to get a lot of Sunbeam in a short amount of time. You don't want to be going out of your way to be looking for caves. It's an inefficient way of getting Sunbeam, but if you happen to stumble across a cave in your search for the towers and the encampments and mission objectives and whatnot, then yes, you can get some bonus Sunbeam. Just keep your eyes open for those red crystals and cash in with that treasure. The best map is the Build a Radar grid, but you can do this on any map. So the ones that you want to avoid are the ones like the Refuel the Home Base, because Refuel the Home Base is a very, very, very time constrained map. You get to the end of the match, and if you're going really, really hard, you just barely get your full platinum badge. So there's really no time to deviate. You can get some storm chests done, but it may even cost you your platinum badge. So it's a really, really it's a time crunch mission. So you don't really want to do the Refuel the Home Bases. The Deliver the Bomb is an excellent mission because you can take your time. You determine when you deliver the bomb. You determine when you start the main mission. That means you have time to go around the entire map and complete all of the crystal towers, all of the crystal encampments, complete all of the storm chests, all that stuff that you find. So it is a very, very good map for farming as well.
Okay, so the retrieve the data is not the way it used to be. They've actually changed this to be like a beta storm now. Now, they've long gone are the days that you have to wait until 8 minutes to drop the balloon. You can now drop the balloon at any time you want. But this is a way worse mission for farming, just because there's a storm now. Like, the storm actually closes in on you, and it pushes you closer and closer to the retrieve the data. And even at the very start of the match, the storm is covering parts of the map, so it's very inhibiting. It limits your ability to actually explore the map as a whole. And I would actually avoid this one if you are doing Sunbeam and Shadow Shard farming. It used to be one of my favorites. Now it is garbage. I'm really not a fan of the storm. I really like that you can drop it instantaneously. I think that's fantastic. But the storm, it ruins the whole map, and it makes it so that you really can't, explore anything. It just, feels bad. So just avoid this one if you are farming for Sunbeam.
The Rescue the Survivor mission is all right too. You have plenty of time. You have the added advantage of, with a Rescue the Survivor mission, you're gonna explore every square inch of this map in order to find all of the survivors. So if you have a coordinated team, the Survivor mission is actually pretty decent. Although rescuing survivors is pretty time consuming, so if you don't have a 4-man team, it's definitely not ideal. Then you have the Ride the Lightning. Ride the Lightning is it's a mission that you activate. You choose the pacing of the match. You have to grab 4 blue glow. You fight in 2 phases. In between those phases, you could be doing whatever you want. You can go after the crystal encampments. You can go after the crystal towers. You can look for storm chests. Whatever it is that you want to do. You have lots of time. You get to choose how long the mission lasts. So this one is a perfect choice to be chasing after that. Now, rescue or repair the shelter is another really, really good mission because you choose when it starts. You don't have to activate the exploration until you feel like it. So you can go and explore the entire map. You can do all of the crystal towers, crystal encampments, storm chests, and then when you're ready, you can be like, okay, let's go and search for the modules. And then that activates the catalyst for the entire match. And then at that point, you're on a time crunch and you're hunting for bots and then completing the defense and all that stuff. So that's a really good mission as well. You also have the evacuate the shelter. This one is pretty good. You have to note that you are on a timer. So you go into the match, you complete the initial defense, and then you have this limited time to do whatever you want. Build a base, hunt for towers, So as long as you're fast, this can be a good opportunity to complete whatever it is that you want to complete. Get those towers, get those encampments, get those storm chests, and then hustle back to your base in time to participate in the defense. But it is on a timer. The fight category storms 1, 2, 3, and 4 are awesome because you choose when you want to start the batch. I mean, you got to get the blue glow. If you're doing a 4, you collect 4 blue glow, you build a base, you start it when you feel like starting it, and you fight. So because you choose when the mission starts and ends, yeah, it's a great match. It's a perfect match for hunting for crystal towers, crystal encampments, and storm chests. So it is also an ideal situation. Now, the destroy the encampments is also a pretty good one because you're doing an encampment mission. You are doing more encampments than you would normally find on other maps. Now, this means that you will have more opportunities to find crystal encampments. But keep in mind that crystal encampments are a bit on the weak side in terms of how much Sunbeam it's going to actually yield. So it's not the best choice, and you are under a time crunch, so you don't have a lot of time to deviate for storm chests or towers or whatever. If you have a really aggressive team, then you know, you can do it, and it is, you know, the speed that you'll be doing this run is actually maybe to your, you know, to your advantage, but it's a very fast-paced match. So if you want to take your time, that might not be the one for you. All right, guys. So that is my comprehensive guide on how to get Sunbeam, how to farm the fastest possible way that you can get. Like if you want to produce those 130s, follow this guide and you will be rolling in crystals in no time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, ring that bell, leave a thumbs up, and comment down below if there's any other videos you'd like me to cover. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. This channel wouldn't be such a success if it wasn't for you guys having our back every step of the way, helping us grow, and watching all of our shows. So thank you so much for all the support on Twitch. Thank you for all the support on YouTube. I hope this guide really helps you guys get all the 130s that you want to build and prosper. All right, guys. Catch you guys next time.
Hey guys, we're out here all day, every day, chasing our dream and trying to build this community. If you love what we're doing here and you support the dream, and if you have the means to actually donate and contribute to what we're doing here, I would really love for you guys to come out and support us on Patreon. It's the lifeblood of any content creator. It's the only reason that that we're staying afloat and able to do what we're doing here. And if you have the means, I would love for you to come out and support us and yeah, help us keep doing what we're doing. Thank you so much, guys.